In 2007, he came out with a reality show called Gotti's Way. And Gotti's Way was only 2 seasons, but those 2 seasons showed me an intimate view on what it looked like to decouple, what it looked like to attempt to co-parent, the differences between what a mother felt that the family needed and what she needed as an individual, and what the father thought he needed to do to be a provider and to keep his family together.
I want to be with Irv, but then a part of me is like, you know what? I think I've outgrown you.
The women that you're with, you refer to them as scallywags.
Will there be a documentary on Irv Gotti that survives soon, as his ex-wife is finally sharing her story of how Irv split up his family for Ashanti? Have you seen the several interviews that V. Gotti has given about his supposed relationship with Ashanti that he was never able to sustain? Name out of his mouth and felt furious when Ashanti disregarded him and wouldn't even consider collaborating with him. Deb now says that his harsh behavior and obsession with Shanti had a significant negative impact on their relationship, and that he forced her to pay for her love and attempts to keep their family together. Let's resolve this right away.
There's no boundaries. Like, he comes, we're there, we're available. He's living 2 lives, and for me, it doesn't make sense.
You have found that woman. It might not have lasted, but you have
She's
found...
definitely a special one, but she wasn't special enough for me to stop.
Deb Lorenzo and Irv Gotti separated in 2013 after a decade of courtship. Deb was often attacked for being stupid for staying with a man who was a total jerk. He ridiculed her degree and claimed that her daughter should be doing better than her. However, from what Deb has said, when she and Irv initially started dating, things weren't like that. When they were married in 2003, she assumed he would be traveling, doing deals, and making a lot of money while she took care of the family and their children. She was shocked, though, to see that she was surrounded by a changing cast of women that Irv was always playing with. He believed he was doing nothing wrong, and that Deb was insane for believing she might be the one woman who could ever please him, which is what caused everything to get so messed up.
Still married, but we were separated when they were dating. I was used to it from the beginning, like him going and traveling. I just wasn't used to the women. That was like new, like, where did these hoes come from?
You know,
You wanted people to forgive you when you do stuff?
Don't talk about the cheat. I'm a good chip off the old block, aside from the infidelities. You know, in my crazy mind, I thought that was life. This is my wife, this is my family, but this bitch is here to suck my
We all saw how troubled their relationship was when their reality show, Gotti's Way, aired back in 2007. But Deb kept trying and felt that things would get better. After finding out about her adultery, Deb had tried to get a divorce, but she had to take into account her kids, especially the oldest. Sonny didn't want their parents to divorce because VB was a great father to their kids and had adopted her daughter. Nor did he ever treat her differently. Deb made sure their relationship stayed the same despite his frequent trips, even though his daughter wasn't even aware that V. Gotti wasn't her biological father until she heard it from someone outside the house, unlike his other children. As a true parent would, Irv made sure to visit the children on the weekends, spend time with them, and go to school events, but it seemed like he only wanted to be there for the children, which conned Deb each time he came home. Weekends, and she believed that things would get better and that she might be able to save her marriage. They would come and go, and until Ashanti became the Princess of Murder Incorporated, her songs were hitting the charts, she was getting brand deals all over the place, and Senator Irv couldn't stop talking about the money and moves he and Ashanti were making. Deb eventually stayed at home with the kids. He denied accusations that Ashanti was a homewrecker during an interview on The Wendy Williams Show, saying that they were in love and only got back together after he and Deb broke up. Instead of sharing the burden of raising children as a full-time parent, he started spending more time in the studio and acting more like a part-time father.
Why is it that if a man gets married, a man and woman get married, if they're separated, they're not gonna be together. They're not staying together. I can't go mess with other girls until I sign a divorce paper? Why? Why?
No, yes, you can.
Okay, then what's the problem?
However, it wasn't until Irv and Ashanti started getting too close for comfort that Deb and Ashanti's relationship shifted.
To wear these juicy sweats and her ass was looking fat. Her ass was looking great. So one day, I was like, yo, I'll take you home. She said, bet, cool. I walk her to a front door of her crib. She turns to say goodbye. And I just kiss her and grab her ass. And just, mwah.
Deb seemed to be a dumping site, even with his kids there and witnessing everything. It didn't help that Deb and the kids were completely dependent on Irv for everything. When Ashanti moved on with Nellie after leaving him, things became worse. It is said that Irv began to unload his feelings on his wife, Deb, because Ashanti refused to listen to him, and he was never able to move over the entire incident. Irv treated Ashanti disrespectfully and wasn't sugarcoating his feelings for her. Irv took advantage of the fact that Deb lacked a valid employment and sufficient funds to move out and begin a life.
It's the fear and like, can I survive on my own? I feel stuck a little bit and I've been like this for a while. I stayed this long because I was afraid. You know, when we first separated, I really thought, Irv would come back home. I thought we would work things out. And then as time goes on, you see it's not gonna work.
Everyone believed Ashanti was either playing with C. Centena or Ja Rule, until Irv disclosed that he and Ashanti were together. But it was as if Ashanti threw the gates open when he told millions that he was the one who was in love with her.
Those records, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wrote them, but she wrote them with the help of me telling her what to write. And all of y'all, whoever knows me, I don't lie. I'm not a liar. I'm gonna spritz it up and jazz it up. Is this the camera?
Yes.
Ashanti, you cannot spritz it up, you cannot jazz it up. The minute you put some spritzy and jazz it up, it's not a cover. So when it's not a cover, now it has to come back to me to clear it.
In addition, he felt more at ease talking about other women he had messed with in Hollywood, saying that he was one of the people who gave Stephen the nickname Superhead, and that he was allowed to have as many affairs as he wanted because it was all part of the game. Managing her infidelity while few people were aware of it was one thing, but now that he had made it public, he couldn't stop talking about it, not even with their family. Deb packed her things and never looked back, knowing that their marriage was ended. IR was talking about having a crazy ride or die that would give him his kids and allow him to do anything he wanted, so that was the nicest thing she could have done. Since Deb has come clean about these things, many have something to say about it. Irv Gotti beat the feds. He hung up on Ashanti until he passed away. Instead of relaying that narrative, he decides to discuss his time sleeping with Ashanti 20 years ago during a multi-million-dollar money laundering trial. Women are said to be emotional, but an emotional man will conduct 32 interviews with a woman who hasn't written a single word about him. What are your current thoughts on all of this? You are aware that the drama will continue, so please leave a remark and remember to click the like and subscribe buttons.